Morning everyone, it's a new day, a new week and a new vlog. If you have watched my last video, thank you so much for watching. It was my first video since, well, being gone for a long time with YouTube, and I did say that there would be a part 2 of that video, but in hindsight the second part was a bit boring, so we're gonna just do a new vlog today, which is kind of like how the part 2 of that other video would have been, because I would have packed like all the remaining orders of the picnic collection, but today is actually the first day after the Meet Me at the Shore collection closed. And we're actually going to be packing more today because I have quite a few things that can go out the door today, so that's really fun. If you're new here, maybe fun to do a little introduction. I am Fem, I'm the face behind the Mindful Creators. I'm a yarn dyer, I have well, a community, and I sometimes make videos here on YouTube. And it has been a while, as I said. I was quite consistent. There has been a long time where I did a video every 2 weeks, even a video a week. I've done that too. But YouTube is more like the fun thing that just for my own creativity. Just fun on the side, and if it gets really busy, YouTube is the first thing to go. So that is what happened. So that is why I haven't been here for much lately, not even this year at all. But I just love making a video. I just love really film. I even did a media study because film is, and like video and just moving images is just something that I really enjoy, and that's why I wanted to film again. So today on the plan is to take, well, I want to say to take stock, but it's a little different. I'll show you first what I'm looking at because it's pretty nice, and then you know what we're talking about. Also, I forgot my tripod at my parents', so it might be a little bit of a wobbly video, but we'll see how it goes. Behind me, on the yarn wall, it's very full right now, is actually the Meet Me at the Shore collection. So that is my newest hand-dyed yarn collection that I just closed the pre-order of. Last video we were talking about the picnic collection. That one was quite a bit ago already, and now the Meet Me at the Shore collection has ended. So I will show you all the colors and what we're going to be doing today. As you can see here, I have a very full yarn wall. No, the studio still hasn't happened much else with like packing, or how do I say it, with like decorating and stuff. I do have a packing table now, which I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, the collection that I had was a beach ocean inspired collection, and it consisted of 8 colors. It's from above here till here. Here we have some picnic colors left over, and this is all Meet Me at the Shore. Everything that I had left over from the yarn fair that I went at. So I always dye up my collections like fully on every single base, so you can have a good idea of what colors look like on different bases, because you can see here something looks very different on Surrey compared to, I think this is Soulful Sock. And for example, here my lovely linen summer base, it's all very different. So I always dye up everything on every base, so you have an example, and then people can do the pre-order, and then I will dye it after. But there are already quite a few things that can go out the door because I have a good amount left over from the fair. It was only a day market, so this is not quite normal to have quite a bit left over. But I'm very, very excited because that means that a lot of people can get their yarn quite a lot earlier than they would have expected. So we're going to be seeing what we can grab today. Maybe a little background of the collection and everything. I'm gonna have to stand like a little bit in a squat so you can actually see me. I do about, well, what would it be, 4 collections in a year, I think? 5 maybe? I think 4 mostly. I have for sure 1 planned after this, and then some small things in between. And every single time my collection did a little bit better, which is so exciting because I'm definitely here to grow the Mindful Creators and the business and everything, and to grow like the community around it and make more people happy with yarn. That is honestly my main goal for like you guys, to make you happy with yarn. I like making people happy. I like making nice yarn. That came together quite perfectly. And so far every collection has grew compared to the other one. However, this one didn't. So it was a bit of a sour apple because there's so much work that goes into prepping a collection. It's not like it didn't do like it didn't do like terribly, but it did about half, a little bit over half compared to my picnic collection, which was my last collection, which did really well. And it did about the same as my summer collection last year. And since last year I've grown a lot with everything. So that's kind of a bit sad for me because, as I said, a lot of work went into this. But I'm trying to see the positive, and I'm trying to see it as a bit of maybe it was meant to be like this, because my body has been hurting quite a bit. I'm doing fine at the moment, to be honest. I've had quite a bit of an elbow pain, but it's starting to feel better. And now that the collection didn't do as well as I expected, which it does mean that I have less yarn to dye. And I also already have a ton of yarn here, which can be sent out already, which, well, means that there's even less to dye. So maybe it's just meant to be. I'm not sure. I don't know how it all works, but maybe it is. It also helps for my mind to say it like that. So yeah, I am very, very excited though that I'm already able to send out so much. And I'm saying so much, I have already looked a little bit at it, and I'm pretty sure I'm able to send out quite a lot. But we'll have to see today how much it actually is, because for example, if someone ordered like 4 colors and one of them isn't dyed yet, of course that order can go out the door. I'm talking a little bit fast, I'm sorry guys. I'm very excited. But yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna set you up. I'm just gonna put my stuff up, everything like that. As I said, I don't have my tripod and I cannot find my monkey grip. So we'll have to see how it works with filming and everything today. I'll also show you my new yarn labels. They're very, very nice. And my new packing cart. Because in the meantime, since filming the last video, my dad came here with my new packing table. And I'm so, so happy with it. It's been absolutely great. I've used it a ton already. It's so much nicer to be able to stand and to pack at the same time, which I really like. So yeah, I'll show that to you too. Shall I show you the new yarn labels? I am so excited about this. Some backstory. I started yarn dyeing about 2 summers ago, and I made my yarn labels then. They are quite simple and it's just what I needed back then to get started. And I've been cutting or printing and cutting those labels myself ever since. It was something on the calendar for like a year to change, but I've been a little bit like, oh, I don't really know what to do for the yarn label. How do I want to make it? I normally on my old yarn labels have my base on front, and since I do about 4 yarn fairs a year, it's quite nice to have my yarn base on the front, because people can then immediately see what it is, or mostly we can also immediately see what it is. I can also feel it and see it without the label, but it's just nice. And I was so doubting, like, do I take it off? Do I keep it? But I just bit the bullet and I was like, I need new labels, definitely for this collection. I've had some amazing help from friends ever since starting with cutting those labels, because it's a lot of work. And I calculated for this collection I already had like 250-ish skeins, which were only like for picture taking, and then for the fair from only the collection, not even all the other things that I dyed. So I was like, no, I need me some labels that I don't have to cut and print and everything myself. So I have new labels. I have 2 new labels actually. I'll show you this one first. We have a really nice, quite basic label, as in just clean. I really like it, that bit of a romantic look. I think a lot of my yarns have a little bit of that romantic and like soft feminine look to it. Also like pops of color, but I think in general, the Mindful Creators, if I look at my branding and everything like that, it fits. So I went with this label, created this myself, and then it says a thread of calm in every stitch. And I think it's so fitting for how I experience knitting and crochet. I mostly knit right now. I also noticed it really like last week. I've been starting to sew clothes, and well, mostly accessories, but also some clothes. And it stresses me out. I get like too much like, okay, I need to get this done, and a bit of like a work mode instead of like, it is relaxing, it is fun. And I finally was able to start picking up my knitting again last week. With my elbow, it's starting to feel quite a bit better. And I just started knitting, and I really was like, oh my god, yes, I can relax now. A thread of calm in every stitch. So yeah, I found this really fitting. And these are just my standard labels, so my all labels for all collection, well, not all collection, for all yarn that I re-dye after collection, everything like that. And then on the back I have a sticker with the information of the base and the color and the base name. Now, I had this idea also that for collections I would like to have a limited edition collection label. So I created this label, was able to create it with some really nice free PNGs. So I didn't draw these myself, but I was able to use them. And the same is on the front with the logo. And then we do have here, meet me at the shore collection. So then I can just change that with the collection at that moment. And then, these are so cute. Can you see it? Since it is a sea ocean theme, I found these really, really nice, as I said, illustrations. And it perfectly wraps into my yarn band, ball band. It is double printed because they are actually bookmarks. That's a good tip for any yarn dyes here that are looking to do this. I think most people know this, but get bookmarks printed. I got like a larger one printed because I just like the look of that. I think it looks quite classy compared to like what I had first. I am so happy with this. I was so happy with this. It saved so much time. I still had a friend help me because there was another friend who was going to help me. She sadly had to cancel. It was just something, couldn't help it. I totally get that. And then another friend came to help me. Like, she was like, oh, I have time today, do you want my help? And I was like, yeah, I think I can do it on my own, but it would be really nice. I couldn't have done it on my own. We worked till like 6:30. It was a long day, and it was so nice actually to, I think we hadn't catched up with, or how do I say it, meet up with just the two of us. We had a great time and did a lot of labeling. So she helped me out greatly. And we labeled all the yarn, and I'm so happy with this. I think it looks amazing. I think for some people like it's just a label, but as I said, it was a long time coming, and I'm so happy that I finally did that. Also, this color is one from the collection. It's a little hard to see. It looks a little bit blown out here. It is called Siren Song, and it's one of my favorite colors. It sold 0 skeins, well, except one for like a sock kit that I had, and I was so surprised. You never know what's gonna do well. I love this color though. There will be quite a bit in the overflow. It was also the bestseller at the yarn market, or the fair that I was at, so funny. Okay, I hope this video is not gonna be too much like me talking to you and just you listening to me yet. But there's a few things that may be fun to know on how I close a collection. I also feel like I'm blending in with the wall. I'm very, very pale. Always have been, never get tan, but I'm looking a little ghostly. Something else, as I said, the collection just closed. My pre-order has been open for a week, and I just closed it yesterday evening. And I've already been doing some admin prep behind the scenes. When I close a collection, I will make a spreadsheet, and I will just put there all the names of the collection in, or of the colors of the collection, and then my bases, and I will go all into all of my orders and just kind of copy paste what people ordered. I do that in a way to make sure that people get yarn from one dye bath if they, for example, have 4 skeins or 6 skeins, or as more than one skein technically, actually. Editing femme here. I feel like I wasn't really explaining that super well. So what I'm trying to explain is when people order a certain amount of skeins, if that is like the amount of skeins that is from the same one dye bath, I make sure that the yarn is from the same dye bath. So I dye 3 or 4 skeins in a dye bath, depending on the color. And for example, if you order 6, as I said, then I make sure that it's only from 2 dye baths. So not like 4 or 5 different dye baths, you know? I hope that makes sense like this. So I can show you a little bit on how I do that. I'm not 100% sure if this will show up great since I'm filming my laptop then, of course. But here you can see the names of the colors, the bases, and then just all the skeins here. Most of the skeins here are in here. And you can see, for example, here, I will put in 1 + 4 + 1 + 1, which means one order had only 1 skein, one order had 4 skeins, 1 skein, 1 skein, and so forth. That way I do dye more than I'm supposed to, often. But as I said, in a pre-order, I tell people like, okay, I don't say it on the website, but people know that if they order from a pre-order, they don't get like 5 different dye baths, for example, when they have 5 skeins. That's not how I want to do it. There are still differences in a dye bath. That's just the nature of hand-dyed yarn, which is also like really nice, I think, as long as it's not like huge differences. They're very small. I am like very on top of my recipes, and I'm like, it needs to be as close as possible because I just like the look of that. And but this is a way to make sure that people at least get it from the same die bed. So I will do that. I have almost completely done it already for this collection, so the Meet Me at the Shore collection. I'm gonna double check though. I'm gonna go through all the orders now and do it kind of again, which mine sounds a little counterproductive, but I just need to be sure that I'm doing it right. And then I'm gonna see at the yarn wall what I already have hanging here. I will mark then that box with like a color as you saw in the other one. So for example, if I have I need, let's say 4 skeins from the blue in Zoveel sock, then I'm gonna see if I already have those 4 skeins. If I have 3, I can put in like I already have 3. If those are all from like different orders, then I'm good. If it all is 4 from the same order, same die bed, I have to still dye those 4 even though I already have 3. So that's the way I do it. Some tonals I do dye per 3 though. That's just the way I do it, and it's been working quite well for me. It gets me a little bit organized because I am chaos itself, kind of. Some things I am not, but a lot of things I am. So this, I just love having this like all like this. I'm gonna do that now, and then I'm gonna check in back with you, and then I'm gonna pull some yarn off the wall. Alright, so I'm back at the packing table. Oh, let me show you the packing table, by the way. This is maybe fun to know. Close my laptop because otherwise you see information from the customers. So there was like a whole somersault that you did there. The packing table, that is normally not there. You were just standing on there. As I said, no tripod today. It's a little messy because there was a lot of work last week, but this is my new packing table on wheels and everything, made by my amazing dad. He is an amazing woodworker, and when we talked about this, when I got the studio, I was like, I really want a packing table. Was looking at packing tables online. He was like, I can literally make you one. So he made one. Very grateful for that. It is really beautiful. It's made with bamboo wood. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, it's not like these things he normally wouldn't do for a customer, but he was like, doesn't matter for you, doesn't matter for you. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't mind. I'm happy that I got it for like a really small price. This was all wood that he still had laying in his workshop. So as I said, he's a woodworker. He makes kitchens, furniture, and mostly like cabinets and everything, like really big ones. And as I said, all this wood was left over from other projects. So this bamboo is normally really expensive. But I was very lucky that he could use it for mine. And then he had some of this yellow already painted and everything from, I think it was a cabinet or closet. And then the gray painted was from something else. And he was able to put this together. I have a little ledge here. It is a little too high though. It should be a little lower because it's hard to get underneath there with my hand. Here I have my shipping bags. Then I'm able to finally like just keep my... how do you call this paper? Well, this paper out where I pack the yarn in. As I said, this looks a little messy now. This is my label printer. I have cards here, Clubhouse discount cards, business cards, some random labels, one of my label stickers, and then these are normally next to the other ones. As I said, a little messy. It was just a fair and everything. Pens that I write the thank you cards with. Oh, sorry, not even his screen. Write the thank you cards with, and my new thank you cards. These are so cute. I really love them. These are the new cards. I even put myself on it. I know. These are all picnic collection pictures. Those pictures were so beautiful. Very happy with that still. But yeah, these cards go into every order, and I always write a little bit. If I'm in a very much of a hurry, it's just mostly like a thank you, and otherwise I write a little bit more. And I have some labels here, as I said, the limited edition collection labels and the standard ones. My old thank you, well, not thank you cards, my old business cards, which I still prefer over the new ones, to be honest. And some more random labels. Labels for shipping labels. Dang. And this is actually a book of my friend. She forgot it. It's really beautiful. She designed this all. She wrote this, illustrated everything herself. So check her out. Random little basket, and this I just have to clean up. I have more of the labels here, but I also have a few random sock blockers and shipping bags and other things in there. So yeah, that needs to be cleaned up. But as I said, it's also on wheels. I can drive it around, so that's amazing. Very, very happy with this. I'm now going to see which orders can be like packed, so kind of like a pre-packing, just to check. I don't want to be like every order and then be like, oh, I can pack this one and I already have half the yarn on the table. I do have to be a bit mindful of my battery of my camera because I cannot find my charger. And it's, well, this battery is a little old, so it goes very quickly. So I'm going to just set you up for now, and we're going to see how much I can film. And maybe it's a lot, maybe it's not too much. And I'm probably going to put a little music underneath there and let you watch me pack some yarn. Probably we'll chat a little bit here and there. Let's get to packing. this is also a really fun one. I actually had kids for the first time. It's a little low. I actually had kids for the first time in this collection, and one of them was for a sock, which I'll show you. I have it here. It's so cute. These are the Shrimply the Best socks by Stone Knits. I got them sample knitted by Fleur from, I think her account is Fleur and Blij? No, I'm so sure. You can find it on my Instagram. I tagged her there. And these are so fun. But I gave multiple color options, and one of them was Seashell, which I also used in the original one, or that it was used in the original one, and then Moontide as the contrast, and then coral reefs for the shrimp. So in this case we have Seashell for the helical knitting stripes here, and then we have Island Blush, but then you're gonna have Moontide, and then instead of, oh no, this is the same one actually, so coral reefs for the shrimpy. I think these are adorable. So happy that people love those. Now I just have to figure out how to put them together, because a label doesn't fit over 2 skeins, and I would like to have this just be in the middle. So I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna see if I have something that I can just tie together, like look at it, maybe have it look a little cute. I'm gonna see what I can come up with. Okay, I have this now. The loops are a little longer. Wait, let me just see if I can get them a little shorter. Isn't it cute? I think it's cute. Cute enough. I think this fits. So I'm gonna be sending out the sock kits like this. And this is actually for a friend of mine. I know she's so excited about making these socks. Laura, if you're watching, this is your order. And she also ordered a base that I had in February. Not soft silk decay, dreamy alpaca decay. I put it on sale because it's a base that I'm not going to carry anymore, and it's so soft. So if it's still online, take a look, because it's really worth it. It's a really beautiful, luxurious base. It's maybe good to know. 90% brushed silk, sorry, alpaca, and 10% silk. So it's so soft. Okay, I'm gonna pack this one now. Wanting to chat with you. This order actually has 2 colors from Summer Tonals, which I haven't really told you about, I think. So let me show you them. Let me let me show you what the colors are. Talking is difficult. Okay, so this is from the collection. This is Golden Hour, and this is Moontide, and these are summer tonals. So this is called Poolside. You can also see this is a different label. This is the color Matcha, and I love this. And here, down here, we have the other summer tonals. There's not much left at the moment, but these are also available for dye to order on the website, and I have a few ready to ship, so everything that's hanging here is ready to ship. Poolside, Matcha, Wisteria Breeze. Sorry, I'm not even showing it correctly. Let me do it again. Poolside, which is a really beautiful oceany blue, a little bit, well, it's kind of cool tone blue, maybe a little bit greenish. A perfect ocean blue. Matcha is like the trend color right now. I love it. I think this is such a freaking cool color. Goes so well with the one next to it, which is Wisteria Breeze, which I had last year, and people were really a fan of it. I love it too. Another from last year is Blushing Rose, which is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. You can see it on Soft Silk Decay together. And this is a new one, it's so fun. This is Hot Girl Summer. Someone on Instagram here, Kimberly, if you're watching, she came up with this. I think it's such a cool name, and I thought it was perfectly fitting for the color. And I just forget this one. This one is also from last year. This is Pistachio Cream. And these are now available for pre-order, or not pre-order, for dye to order, which I dye them in about 3 weeks time, probably a little shorter, but that's the time I give it, until late September. So these are available all throughout the summer. And then here they are in the order. So I'm gonna pack them up together now. video here. All the packages are labeled, as in the labels on there. The yarn is looking a little bit more bare. I actually did a little bit more work here for the Clubhouse, which is my community group. If you didn't know, I have a community group, and I just had to plan in a calls for August and our next make along, because we're doing a summer clean make along, which is we're going to be working on things that we have laying around that we want to finish, yarn that has been in stash for a long time that we want to use, or for example cleaning out your stash, like doing a little organization. So I had to make a little post for that because we're starting it August 1st. And we have here the orders that are going to go out today, with that one too. I don't know which way is which. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope next time my camera battery will last a little bit longer, but I feel like this worked. This wasn't too bad. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. Please give it a little like and a follow if you want, because that's always very welcome, and it's nice to just share the love of yarn with others. And if you like it and follow, more people will see that, and more yarn lovers will get to this place too, and we'll connect even better. So that'll be fun. Also, let me know what kind of videos you would like to see. I could do a podcast again maybe soon. I've finally been able to knit again, so maybe a podcast soon. Let me know. I'd love to know. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!